Hey folks, Rob here, and yeah, it's kind of been a while since I've done something like this. But this is just my quick, I'm going to try and make it quick, response for Novabug's Friday Foursome on gaming dinner guests. Obviously, there's going to be a slight technical kind of bias to mine, and you can sort of see the picture that I'll draw with it. So we'll start off, and my first guest would have to be Andrew Braybrook, who obviously probably best known as a games dev on the C64, but also did a bunch of Amiga and other stuff, ST obviously. And if you know kind of stuff on my channel, you know that I really, really admire his work. He's made a lot, made a lot of my favorite games like Paradroid, Iridium, and to be able to sit down and just be able to have a good technical conversation about aspects of game design, programming on the 64, all of those things, I think it'd be a great opportunity to do that. Now, to follow that, I would probably add Paul Kohler, who is best known he's a homebrew C64 programmer, and he's responsible for Super Breadbox, Micro Hexagon, some of these really tight cartridge conversions of indie homebrew games. They're not really, well, the indie games aren't really homebrew, but squeezing a lot of those titles for larger machines onto the 64, talking about how programming on the machines these days versus back in the 80s, I think that would be a very interesting contrast. And again, those are, that kind of development is what I really like. And, talking game design and game programming, be able to do that. Now, my third and fourth are kind of lumped together. And that's the duo of Robert Russell and Bob Yanis. They're two engineers at Commodore who were basically responsible for a large part of the C64 hardware design. Yanis was also responsible for the SID chip. And whilst I'm not much of a muso, that's still something that's a pretty amazing thing about the machine. So being able to talk with them about what it was like designing the computer, how Commodore worked back, and a lot of those things, you could imagine some good stories from the hardware side of things. I mean, I'm more a software guy than a hardware guy, but I really, I'm interested in that sort of aspect of history. So there's a sort of historical element there. It's really brief, but yeah, two game designers, one from the past, one from the present day, and two of the hardware designers are my favorite bit of hardware. It's to me, for me, I think the reason I went down that way is because, I do games development as a part of my job. And so comparing what I'm doing, on Unity on a modern system versus, programming assembler on the C64 and how that all works is something interesting. I mean, I have been trying to get myself back into doing some C64 games programming on the side. It's been fighting time. That has been hard. But it's always been something I've wanted to do. And so being able to learn bits and pieces from people, I find interesting. And of course, the hardware side, I want to learn about the hardware behind that system, about, what it was like to build it, what it was like to be around. So I hope you find that interesting. This is, as I said, I want to keep this really brief. I did struggle to think of those answers, but it sort of all clicked up nicely there. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone who subscribes and has and is and will, and, and actively enjoying the gameplays I do. I have some good ones coming out in the short term. So do comment, like, subscribe, and all of that nonsense. And I really hate having to repeat that, but it's what people want. So thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time.